I'm not sure who snapped the pic, but this was a snake over by where we were camping at Windrock, I believe. And I guess it's harmless. I'm not sure what kind of snake it is. I'm not a snake guy, but Mark wanted to make sure I got a picture of the snake in the video. So there you go, Mark. Today was the day after the big rainstorm. So it was kind of a different kind of day, if you will. You can see us, everything's wet and slippery. Not that it wasn't before, but it's just everything's extra wet. And like some of these climbs are pretty tough to get up and down without slipping all over the place. I mean, I didn't have any problems, but again, I'm aired down on beadlocks with 32s. Not that those are huge tires, but they're bigger than everybody else's in our group, and it really helped on a day like today. But we ended up having a shorter ride in the morning because we developed a problem with one of our machines, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So not a lot of trail cam footage today, pretty much mainly front cam and rear cam of the machine. I didn't get much trail cam riding or trail cam recording. I'm not quite sure why, but I hope, you know, the footage I do have will work for you. If you just want to see the trail cam, jump up to, I think it's like 4 minutes, and you'll see that. That's really the only clip I had from the trail cam that day. We spent a lot of time kind of just focusing on the ride and getting back into it. And right after that, winching that you'll see on the trail cam, the Ranger developed a problem. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But as we go, we see we came across a tree. So I just kind of drove over it, and then I parked, and Linda actually went back with me, and we were able to push the trail or the tree off the trail, which worked out great. Everybody else was able to cruise on through, and then we just started going again. So I don't have the weather stats from how much rain fell the night before, but I mean, it was significant. It was a pretty bad storm, not one you wanted to be in a camper, that's for sure. The wind was blowing bad. There's tornadoes. It felt like 6 inches of rain fell. I don't know if that's the exact amount, but anyway, we were just happy the weather broke and it was nice, but all the machines got just soaked. And it was a free buggy wash. I mean, they all look beautiful compared to the day before just because of the amount of rain that fell. But nonetheless, everything was wet. And that's kind of foreshadowing to a problem that I think happened a little bit later. We were going over this obstacle here, and we didn't really think anything of it. We just kind of went over it. Again, a little bit taller tire. I'm sure that's it. It sure as heck isn't my driving. But we just kind of went over it and went about our way, and we got up to this point on the trail, and we just kind of waited for everybody to catch up. But we heard on the radio, hey, machines are getting kind of hung up on that obstacle. So we turned around and went back, and it turned out the Ranger was right behind me, and Jim couldn't get up the obstacle. So we just kind of help winch him up this obstacle. It's funny when you see a bunch of old guys, you know, winching up a machine or getting ready to rig up. We all try and look like we know what we're doing, but none of us do. It's kind of funny. I ended up losing my shoe there in the mud. It was pretty slick. And here, Jim wanted to make sure I wasn't going to pull him up. You know, we didn't want to damage his machine or his winch. So I was just kind of an anchor, and I was just sitting there, which worked out surprisingly well. It was, you'll see it right here. Everything worked out really well. The only problem was the hook from his winch got really jammed in my winch hook. And I don't know, whatever, I ended up banging on it with a rock or a stick I found and got it freed up, but you'll see it later on. Mark's just trying to make sure Jim knows when the winch cable's tight so he can start winching again. And I'm just backing up slightly a little bit just to try and keep some tension on the winch as well, so that we don't, run into any issues. We don't want to snap it or just really, beat on it at all. But, it was a pretty easy winch job. Again, I think the Ranger would have made it. It just doesn't have the ground clearance because it's got those small tires on it. But we got them out. Look at that babe washing her boots off in the mud. Like she's going to clean up. Give me a break. So Mark's going to make it over the obstacle with enthusiasm, which you'll hear in a minute.
Get up there, man! Yeah! Is that up, Phil?
Oh yeah. Then Steve's gonna come in and make it look like he's just going up an escalator.
You go up this way or that way?
I don't remember. I just kind of went up it. Come on, make us all look like newbies, Steve. Probably changing soundtracks in his radio. Oh, even hit the fucking hole and he just like nothing. I think to make this fair, we should put you on like 12-inch tires.
So when it goes this way, you're playing that pedal. You're trying to keep your momentum.
So I was BSing with Mark, and he's always been a big, how do you want to put it, encouragement for these videos and putting them together, and he likes watching them, which I like making them, so it's okay. Anyway, we were joking around. He's like, I bet you these videos, particularly the Windrock ones, they're pretty entertaining. I bet you get over the 500 subscriber number by the end of the month. And I'm like, what are you, crazy? I've been working on this for years. I'm not even at 400. I'm close, but there's no way in 2 weeks we're going to get that kind of subscribers. And he said, $100 as you do. So you want to cost me $100 and make Mark $100. Get me over 500 subscribers by the end of June. So I don't know how anybody's going to do that considering the amount of views I get on these videos. And I'm even putting this in the middle of the video to kind of help me out a little bit, because most people don't watch all the way through. But I know Mark will, and he'll cry foul, no doubt. And I don't blame him. He's probably right. But at any rate, get me to 500 subscribers. We'll see what we do. So after we went back to camp and had a little bit of lunch, the riding you're seeing here is in the afternoon. And this is just me and my wife riding in the front. And then Steve and Debbie are in the back, well, behind us. And we literally just went for a long rip. I think we covered almost 50 miles in the afternoon, which I think we covered 30 in the morning, and that was in several hours. Maybe it was less than that, like 25. But we were able to cover a lot of ground. It was fun. No stucks, nothing like that, but no real hard obstacles or anything like that either. So it was just a lot of good riding. Had a lot of fun, and I tried my best to lose Steve, but he proved that wasn't going to happen. He was just always right there. But we had a super, super good time riding. So it would have been fun to have the whole group again. Obviously, Jim's machine was getting looked at. He was checking the codes back at camp and seeing if he could get rid of them. Mark and Cindy were having lunch. Everybody had lunch, and they were having lunch, and then they were doing something with their camper. I don't recall what it was. And Steve and Debbie were kind of cracking the whip to us to get going, so we left, and we're having a good time. My sister and my brother-in-law were off riding their BMW motorcycle and having a good time. So we were just, kind of on our own, just playing, not a care in the world. And it was a lot of fun. So enjoy the rest of the video. I'm not going to keep talking. I wish I had better angles and better clips, but we didn't get stuck. So I didn't pull the trail cam out one time. We had a good time. All right. Thanks again. Appreciate it. And see you on the next one. Yeah, I guess I wasn't done talking. This clip does not do this section of trail justice. This was fun. This is 77 heading down, and unless you have like 37s on your machine, you're doing what this trail wants you to do. You don't even have to hold the steering wheel. You're just smashing the brakes because your machine just wants to fly down this, and you can't tell, but the top of the sides of this are like at the middle of my roll cage. I mean, it was really interesting. And that hill is the right side, that's straight down. So it's pretty wild. We had a lot of fun, and this was kind of the highlight of the afternoon, that little stretch. At least that was definitely the scariest moment of the afternoon. Just wanted to say thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.